commercial real estate will continue to be slow. I know I was talking about mortgage rates earlier, talking about what's happening in the mortgage business and housing business, how we are in a severe shortage of existing homes and new homes for sale. And we are seeing a demographical shift where we are seeing people in urban areas, they want out and they're moving to suburban areas. We're seeing people in suburban areas want to get out even further and they're moving into rural areas. And we're seeing rural areas desperately in need of housing. And all of those other areas in need of housing. The urban area, the inner cities, the center cities are the only ones that are changing, and are not changing too quickly yet, but they will, because all of these people are exiting. And along with that exiting, there are companies that are exiting. There are companies that are going to be exiting office buildings for good, forever. There is one company already talking about 4,000 people in the next 3 years are going to be working from home and they will have no office space to speak of. Think about that. That's not a one-off. That is a trend that COVID has started, and it is a trend that is going to continue. Oh, it's going to hurt a lot of sectors. It's going to hurt the daycare industry. It's going to hurt schools. It's going to hurt a lot of different industries. All those takeout restaurants, all those supermarkets with prepared meals. It's going to change all of that. They're just little things, but they're little things that are going to change. And we're going back, folks. We're going back to the past in a good way, the good things that we are going back to. And it's going to upset a lot of your real estate investment trust. If you have a real estate investment trust and you're having commercial office space, that's probably going to be in trouble in 3 or 4 years. May not be now, it may be fine, but it's going to be in trouble. Yeah, maybe once we get out of this in 2021, whenever that's going to be the end of 2021, before we get fully back to work, maybe it's going to be sooner, but it's likely to be later than sooner at the rate we're going. So maybe leisure and hospitality REITs are going to come back, but that's going to be about it. So you better be very careful, and that's why we have been very careful about the preferreds and the REITs that we are talking about. Look, your preferreds aren't going to last. So if you're looking at preferreds for income, they're not going to last, because why in the world would they be paying? So I'm talking about the preferreds on my list. They're not going to last because the ones on my list are good, solid companies. So why do they want to pay you 5% when they can get a commercial loan for 3.5%? Makes no sense. They're not going to do it. Right? So they're going to get the loan for 3.5%. They're going to use what they need to use to call their REITs, get out from under that high interest, and pick up some free cash flow in the meantime. So preferreds have been hard to get in this low interest rate environment. They're only going to get harder to get. The other thing that we've got to watch for, and some of these have come off my list, because preferreds need to get away from this notion that they're not going to be cumulative with their dividends. If they're not cumulative, you shouldn't own them. Well, listen, there was a day when you could rely on a call date. Now these preferreds are all continuously callable. You can buy it today and they can be called tomorrow. It's the way they work. And we are in a calling environment. We're in an environment where they're going to be called, more than likely, at least the good ones. The bad ones are never going to get called because they can't go out and get a commercial loan at 3.5% because they don't have credit worthiness. And that's why they issued issued the preferred to begin with. So they're not going to go away. Or they've issued bonds in the junk bond or high yield category. They're not going to go away either.
Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.